Well, we've had buckets of rain falling from the sky and cascading off the roof of a home on Taylor's Ferry Road in Rock Creek, Alabama. The greatest 24-hour rainfall for the Birmingham Metro, well, 1 2/3 inches on the west side of the city. More storms are possible today and tonight. By the time you get done with the heat of the afternoon, you might be wishing for a little rain. The problem is it's not all going to be just a little rain. We've got that possibility for some strong to severe storms as well. So are you planning out your Sunday? You trying to brunch? Maybe get those groceries? You're going to have to plan around the weather. Here's what we're looking at. Everywhere shaded in red has that risk for severe storms. The light red shading, the main risk is going to be those damaging wind gusts. We've already had some showers and storms ongoing this morning. Some heavy rain at times, some feisty storms as well. Right now from OKC down through Wichita, south of Lubbock, that's where we're seeing most of the rain. That's eventually going to fill in across that 35 corridor down toward Dallas as well. Now, right now we've got the rain kind of skipping between Memphis and Nashville. Nashville, the rain is south of you. Memphis, the rain is mostly north of you, but Tupelo, you just had those storms move through. We've got a boundary that's hanging out, and that is going to help to provide the focal point across the southeast for some of these storms, and it has been a soggy, stormy morning in Cedar Key. You see that there, thunderstorms continuing to stream in across the Gulf with that onshore flow, that westerly component of the wind influencing your weather on the west coast of Florida. Now, for the rest of us, as we move through the day, it's going to be like a little trigger mechanism. You get that daytime heating. We call these diurnally driven storms because as you get that daytime heat, helps the atmosphere destabilize, especially when you're talking about dew points well into the 70s for places like Little Rock, Jackson, Mississippi, Montgomery, Alabama, and that brings us even more fuel to get these storms going and the possibility for some heavy rain at times for cities like Shreveport and Dallas. You guys have those waves of rain moving through as we head through the overnight. So a quick look at your forecast in Birmingham if you're trying to get something done before it gets too sweltering and before it gets too stormy. Well, the earlier part of the day is your best bet. Paul. Like Nashville versus the places that are still south or underneath of the front where we're stuck in that muggy, humid air mass, like, say, Charleston, South Carolina, even Charlotte, Montgomery. Here's what we're looking at through Wednesday. We're looking at generally about 1 to 2 inches of rain for that 20, that 10 corridor as well. But take a look at the coastal plain of the Carolinas out through the Outer Banks. Yeah, we could really see some of that, that water adding up. Charleston, South Carolina. I love Charleston, South Carolina. If you've not been there, you need to check it out. But one thing I will say, it does flood pretty easily, even for, just a regular afternoon thunderstorm. So you guys could definitely see some flash flooding issues in the Charleston area before we're all said and done with this. So here's what's happening. We've got that frontal boundary. It's sinking southward, as is typically the case this time of year. It's really hard to get those frontal boundaries to move all the way south. There's just not enough dynamics to make that happen. So it ends up stalling out, and then it provides a focal point over and over again for rounds of rain and storms. And that's what we're going to continue to see over the next couple days across the southeast along the Gulf Coast. So tomorrow into Tuesday into Wednesday, we're seeing much more of the same thing. Scattered rain and storms. Some of those could be a little feisty at times because we've got the heat, we've got the moisture in place. By Wednesday, you're seeing the same thing. So quick look at that forecast for Charleston. I mentioned you guys are going to have that chance for storms. We're going from the mid-90s today, though, to take a look at these temperatures. Lower 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday, and a little drier Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not looking bad there at all. You know another city that I like in the Carolinas? It's Raleigh. We are having ongoing tornado warnings right now because we have quite a few popping up across North Carolina. A line of very strong storms pushing the way toward the coast at this point. Several tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. So that's map that out for you here. Let's take a look at this first tornado warning. This is until 12:15. This is for Elizabeth City. So we've got Camden and Pasquotank counties that are included in this. This is moving. These storms are moving east at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. We're getting some radar indicated rotation. So if you are in Elizabeth City, I want you to go ahead and get in your safe place. That's going to be on the lowest level of your home, away from all windows, away from doors. You don't want anything that could become a projectile easily coming through any of those openings. We also have a tornado warning for Bertie, Chowan counties, Hertford, you're included in this. Hertford, you're included in this. You can see it here. This is until 12. This is just passing a Hosky. This is moving east at about 20 to 30 miles an hour as well. So tornado, maybe some hail within this storm. Again, this is radar indicated. We haven't gotten any ground truth on yet this, but nonetheless, regardless of whether there is ground truth on a tornado, these are still very, very strong storms that are moving through. This tornado warning for Camden and Currituck counties as well until 12:15 local time. Now this is going to continue pushing eastward across the Outer Banks as we move through the next 30 minutes or so. So a line of very hefty storms currently pushing through northern North Carolina. I can't stress enough, you want to take these storms really seriously. We've got some heavy rain with some of these storms as well. So if there is a tornado, it may be rain wrapped. You may not even be able to see it. So you do want to make sure that you're getting to your safe place if you're included in one of those tornado warnings. It doesn't stop with this line of storms though. As we head through the later afternoon, we're going to have those storms bubbling up once again with that risk for severe storms moving through the coastal plain of the Carolinas, North and South Carolina both included. The Outer Banks getting just hammered as we head through the evening. So this is going to be one of those Sundays where you really have to make your plans around the weather. Here are our torcons for today, and that is verifying. We've got torcons of 2 to 3, and as you've seen, we already have several tornado warnings popping up in this Elizabeth City area, which is included in that torcon, but stretching down through Morehead City, up through Norfolk, Cape Charles, you also are included in that area with a torcon for today. So you want to be really cognizant of what's going on with the weather, have some way to get those alerts. We also have the risk for severe storms anywhere shaded in this light red, from Macon down through Montgomery, Jackson, Dallas. You're all included in that for today. Here's what's ongoing right now. We've got a line of storms that are kind of mainly south of that 40 corridor. Currently starting to see some storms knock on the door there in Little Rock. They'll eventually fill in across that 35 corridor as well. But Dr. Postel, it's not only the south today that we're keeping an eye on for some hefty storms. It's also the northeast.
Yeah, it is. And we do